What does it mean to be truly strong? Once there was a man unlike any other, a man chosen by God before he was even born. His strength could not be matched. His power struck fear into his enemies. This is the story of Samson, the strongest man who ever lived. He tore lions apart, defeated armies with his bare hands, carried the gates of a city like they were feathers. Yet his greatest battle wasn't against his enemies. It was against himself. Betrayed by love, blinded and imprisoned, Samson's story takes us from triumph to tragedy, and finally to a moment of unimaginable redemption. It's a story of power, pride, weakness, and grace. Join us as we explore the rise, the fall, and the final triumph of Samson, the man whose strength was more than just muscle. Long ago in the land of Israel, darkness hung over the people. The Philistines ruled with iron hands, their armies strong, their hearts cruel. The people of Israel lived in fear, their cries rising up to heaven. But one quiet evening, in a small village among the hills of Dan, something extraordinary happened. An angel of the Lord appeared to a barren woman, a woman who had long carried the ache of childlessness. The angel's presence filled the air with light and awe. He spoke gently but with power. "You will have a son. He will begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines. This child," the angel said, "must be set apart, a Nazirite, chosen from birth for a divine purpose. No wine, no unclean food, and his hair must never be cut, for his strength will come from God himself." Hope was reborn that day. The woman ran to her husband, trembling and full of wonder. And in time, the promise came true. A child was born, strong, radiant, full of destiny. They named him Samson. He would grow to become one of Israel's mightiest men, a symbol of divine strength and a reminder that true power comes only from God. As Samson grew, his strength became the talk of Israel. From the time he was young, there was something different about him, a divine power that rested upon him. One day, while traveling through the vineyards of Timnah, a lion suddenly leapt from the shadows. Its roar shook the ground. But the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon Samson. With nothing in his hands, he caught the lion mid-charge and tore it apart as easily as one would tear cloth. It was clear his strength was not his own. Years later, the Philistines rose against Israel again. They sent armies to capture Samson, confident they could overpower him. But standing alone in a desert valley, Samson picked up the jawbone of a donkey, the only thing around him, and faced 1,000 warriors. The earth shook with his roar as he struck them down one by one until none were left standing. With that single act, Samson became a legend, the mighty deliverer of Israel. Yet even the strongest man can be weakened, not by armies, but by his own heart. And for Samson, that battle was only beginning. Samson, the mighty warrior, feared by his enemies, admired by his people. But even the strongest man can be undone by what lies within his heart. In the valley of Sorek, Samson met a woman named Delilah. She was beautiful, confident, and mysterious, and Samson's heart was captured. But behind her smile, the Philistine rulers saw their chance. They promised her silver if she could uncover the secret of his strength. Again and again, Delilah asked him, "Tell me, Samson, what makes you so strong?" At first, he played with her questions, teasing, never telling the truth. But love and trust blinded him. And at last, after days of pleading, he revealed the secret. "My strength lies in my hair, for I am set apart as a Nazirite to God." That night, as he slept in Delilah's lap, a razor gleamed in the torchlight. His locks fell silently to the floor. And when the Philistines came, he rose to fight, but his strength was gone. The Spirit of the Lord had left him. They seized him, bound him in chains, and gouged out his eyes. The mighty Samson, now blind, broken, and imprisoned, grinding grain in the darkness of a Philistine prison. Yet even there, in the silence of his shame, Samson began to pray, and his hair began to grow again. Time passed. Samson, once Israel's mightiest warrior, now stood blind and broken in a Philistine prison. But even in darkness he began to remember who he truly was, and his heart turned back to God. The Philistine rulers planned a great celebration, a festival in the temple of their god Dagon. Thousands gathered on the balconies and roofs, laughing and mocking the fallen hero. "Bring out Samson!" they shouted. "Let him entertain us!" Led by a young boy, Samson was brought into the great stone temple. His chains rattled as he walked, his steps slow but steady. They laughed, but he whispered a prayer that reached higher than their jeers. "Lord, remember me. Strengthen me just once more, that I may bring down this temple upon my enemies." Then Samson placed his hands on the two massive pillars that held up the temple. The ground trembled. The crowd's laughter turned to fear. With one last cry, he pushed with all his might. The stones cracked, dust filled the air, and the temple of Dagon collapsed, crushing the Philistine rulers and all who mocked the God of Israel. In his final moment, Samson fulfilled his destiny, not through pride or anger, but through surrender and faith. For even in his weakness, God's strength was made perfect.